Who's wrong and who's wronger? In this corner, followed by millions, James the Exploding Unicorn Breakwell. And in that corner, ignored by millions, Steve Dash Rinko Levens.
Everybody, welcome to Wrong and Wronger, and we got the James Breakwell over there. We got Steve Olivas. We got the Packers. It's football season. We're ready to go 3-0, like 1-2-3 and up and down, and we're rolling. And the Brewers, they're about to get into the playoffs. They got to knock off the Cubs, and they got to work on the pitcher. And James, I know you're not a baseball guy, but like the pitcher, he's the guy what throws the ball, that guy. But right now, let's just get into what we're doing here, because we've got a debate scheduled that at least two people are sitting on the edge of their seat waiting to listen to. James, let me start by asking, how are you doing tonight?
I am surprised. Do we pick up a second listener somewhere? When did that happen?
Man, I watch the numbers every week and then get drunk out of despair. But I believe we still have two. Judy P will never leave.
That's true.
Judy P is in until the end of time with us, and there's got to be one more somewhere.
Well, I
right?
guess we have two interns, so just by default, with Judy and the interns, we're up to three, so we're good.
They only look at the Twitter and the Facebook stuff. I don't know if they actually listen to the show.
That's true. Hopefully for their sake they don't. They had to spare their sanity.
Well, your wife, I'm sure. Oh, wait,
No,
never mind.
obviously not.
All right, what are we going to debate tonight? This is the show where we debate about topics that mean nothing to nobody except two of you out there. What do we got going tonight?
We are going to argue if you should watch the movie in the movie theater or in your home. Go out or stay in for movies.
Well, as complicated as that came out, it's sort of like Netflix versus watching in the theater. So
Yes.
That's the two options. We have the Guam Quarter of Fate. Breakwell, I don't need you to utter a word right here. Oh, no, but before you ruin the ruse of the Guam Quarter of Fate tonight, what compliment do you have for me? Because I know this is something that you spend all week trying to put pencil to paper. You scratch at your chin. You have a 1,000-yard stare into a sunset. What do you have for me tonight?
I would like to congratulate you on being a creature of habit. It takes so little change to completely discombobulate you. We switched around the order of our podcast tonight because we had a special guest on another one, and you didn't have 55 minutes to practice your horrible impression. And now you are all out of sorts. It just makes me realize, like, I just always assume that you're just going by the seat of your pants here, but like, you're practicing to be this bad. So I guess I got to commend your dedication. So good for you for trying hard, I guess.
Man, there is a rhythm to life, and when Breakwell throws it off, because his life has the rhythm of Elaine on Seinfeld, I get pulled right down the drain with him, and I hate that about myself, that I'm not strong enough to just say no. But I went with Breakwell, and now we're all discombobulated. But James, my compliment to you is actually, and I chuckle when I say this, it is a bit more heartfelt, even though yours was meaningless yet heartfelt. But your eulogy to your grandmother was fantastic. It was touching, it was funny, and I think it was so appropriate for the medium and the woman as you described her. I say, I don't know how much thought you put into that, the email blast this week, but it flew out of your fingertips in fine form.
I'm glad it came off okay. As I was writing it, I was like, this is either going to be well received or get me disowned from my family. We'll see how it goes. But my aunt messaged me and she said she liked it. So we're good. I think I'm still in the family for now. I'll have to find another way to get kicked out.
You know, the part of that story that really stuck with me was, and this is a story, I believe the first interaction that you and I had, which before we even knew each other, was about the old Avi you had on your Twitter feed, which was you with the big mountain of Jell-O in front of you. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know the full story. You kind of gave me the Reader's Digest, literally, version of that story. But I encourage people, once again, if you're not on Breakwell's email list, you're missing out. That it's so much better than he is as a person or on this podcast. That don't let everything you see here and know about him outside of that email blast jade your decision to go on to it, because you're going to see a whole new side of him that might make him marginally likable to you.
All right. There was some end to that sentence. You started off going to a point, then you lost it, and you got sidetracked by the sales. There was something about this. Never mind. There was no point. Okay, we'll just move on.
I got lost in just the radiance of
I
my
thought
own self.
there was some part of the story you'd never heard. I thought you were going to highlight that, but I guess just the story in general you hadn't heard.
Oh yeah. No, the full story.
full
I
story.
think.
I'm with you.
There was a point. Holy crap!
There you
Good
go.
for
I
you,
thought
man.
so. Yeah.
God, you track better than I do. That's great. Yeah, the point that because the summation of the whole story is that you never really liked the Jell-O, you just ate it for your grandma's sake, and that you hid the Reader's Digest thing from her. Like, you never brought it up to her because you didn't want her to see that you never really liked the Jell-O. Like, you protected her feelings, and that made it even better. It was just a fabulous email.
That was the first time I realized I could be hidden in plain sight. That as I became internet famous or whatever, that it didn't mean anything in real life. There are 5 million copies of that magazine printed. My face was a half page of it. Nobody ever told her. Nobody in her town of 200 people where everybody knew her. Not one single person in the target demographic of old people ever brought that to her attention. I certainly wasn't going to bring it up. And for the record, I didn't hate orange Jell-O. It's a fine Jell-O. It just wasn't something I wanted to eat it, by the trash bag full. So it was.
Well, did you use your real name in the article?
I'm James Breakwell on there. I posted a picture of the article on there. Did you read it?
Yeah, I did. I didn't look at your byline because it didn't occur
I guess
to me. But
it was under James Breakwell, so I guess it's entirely possible she wouldn't recognize my picture. I mean, who wants to look at me really? That is entirely possible. So one way or the other. I did find when we were going through her things, I found the copy of my first book I gave her, Only Dead on the Inside, the signed inscription I had given to her, and it definitely was unread. So we probably could have given her the issue of Reader's Digest, and I doubt she would have read it. But that she had better things to do. She had Judge Judy, so you got to get your priorities straight.
Well, hell, she was in her 90s when you published that book. Was she able to read at that point?
Debatable. I think she always wanted us to think she was more capable than she was. Her greatest fear in the world is that we're going to take her out of her house and put her in a nursing home. She just wanted to stay in that chair. So yeah, she was feisty to the end. So she definitely acted like she could read till the end. Maybe she could, maybe she couldn't, but nobody was going to call her on it. That's for sure.
Fantastic. All right. Well, speaking of calling things, you need to call the 2 sides of the Guam Quarter of Fate.
Yeah, that's not suspicious at all the way you said that. All right. Heads, I'm arguing go to the theater. Tails, I'm arguing stay home.
All right. And I'm holding up the tail. I don't have the Guam Quarter of Fate. I have a regular quarter because the Guam Quarter's downstairs on my bathroom counter because I didn't bring it up because Breakwell changed the order. God. All right. I don't even know what you said. What?
Heads, movie theater. Tails, watch at home.
Okay. It is up. It is down. See? I'm glad I came clean because it is tails. You, sir, have home.
Thank goodness, because I am a man on a budget. I don't want to pay $75 to go out and watch a movie. By the time you hire a babysitter for the 95 kids I have, and you buy 2 tickets, you get
That's 27. How dare you?
And you pay the service fee to pre-order because you can't just walk into the big movie releases anymore. It's a debacle. I mean, it's like a day's salary to go in there and watch 3 hours of movies. And then when you get there, okay, you want to know the biggest drawback is other people. If I watch in my house, it's me and my wife. You put the kids to bed, you can watch whatever you want. You can turn up the volume. It's great. Movie theater, 1 volume. It blows out your eardrums, and you still might not be able to hear it because somebody's going to be, listening to their phone or just, looking at the screen and distracting you. You got people in there encroaching on your elbow space. The guy who plays for the NBA is going to sit right in front of you, blocking your view. The floor is going to be sticky. It's awful. But you know what the biggest reason is? And I know that in your age bracket, this is what makes the biggest difference. Biggest reason for those 9-hour-long Marvel movies is bathroom breaks. If I am watching a movie at home, I can hit the pause button and I can get up to pee whenever I want. But if you at the movie theater want to go to the bathroom, you are going to have to miss prime minutes of this movie you just paid all this money to see. And you're just guessing, you're hoping, you're praying that there's enough padding in there that you're not going to miss anything important. And if you want to see that section you missed, you got to go back in and pay to see the whole movie again and then pee at a different part. I mean, that's how they get you. You got to watch the whole movie twice. So I don't know how you could possibly defend going in to watch a movie at the movie theater.
James, if your wife isn't worth $75 once a month, with the Breakwell money that you're raking in, it's a fire hazard. All that money laying around your house, like, come on, you got to spend some of that stuff, or your place is going to go up like a tinderbox. Like, drop the 75, but buy her a dinner at some place that doesn't have a drive-through once in a while. But when you go to the theater, man, you have the experience of other people's emotions, and that heightens the everything for you. That when people scream, you scream. When they laugh, you laugh. It just kind of makes the movie roll, the whole artistic point of it. And yeah, you do have to pee once in a while. You get to be my age, and you end up just strapping a Gatorade bottle to your leg with a garden hose going to it. But just keep yourself from drinking an entire pig trough full of soda when you walk in, and you might be able to make it through most of the movie. But the surround sound, God, you dissed the surround sound. When you're my age, first of all, you got to turn the TV up as loud as it can be just to make it kind of Dolby in the first place. But when you go to the theater and you watch one of them Avengers movies, and I can't remember if you watch Avengers movies, James, or not.
I will watch them when they come out on Disney Plus, and I can watch them in my own home.
All right. Those Avengers movies, everything is bombastic, and it is so cool with the 3D surround sound, and you can hear Captain America yelling over there and Thor yelling back at him from over there. It's fantastic. You can't get that in your home. And lastly, the theater seats nowadays, if you drop a couple extra bucks, and I know that you're frugal to the point of insanity, but man, you sit in those new seats in some of the better theaters and you kick back. I can't literally stay awake through an entire movie because those seats are comfortable, and I'm old, but I still enjoy the experience. You don't have to talk to anybody. That's the beauty of being alone in a crowd in a theater, but you can still interact through emotion. And theaters are just great. I don't think I had any. Oh, yeah, lastly, you got to get out in the world once in a while, James. You're a writer. You isolate yourself. Your date night consists of you and your wife sitting in opposite rooms, playing with people that you never see on the internet somewhere. Could be internet strangers that think you're a kid and they're trying to get in your head, do weird things. Like, just get out in the world. Go and rub elbows with people. Interact with the person that's selling you the tickets and the one ripping them in half. Like, do something that says you're a human being. That you are a human being. I'm sure Lola already is. What do you have against I can't talk anymore. That's my point. You heard me.
So first of all, you admitted you're falling asleep during these $75 movies. That's a terrible return on investment. Why not just fall asleep at home in your own chair where you don't have to feel guilty about it at all? I mean, even when you go big and you splurge and you just pay $3.99 to, stream the movie because it's not one of the free services. If you fall asleep during that movie, no big deal. You can watch it again for 48 hours. You can watch it 2 or 3 times. Or as opposed to the movie theater, you pay $75, you get to see it once. And for the record, my wife is worth more than seeing a movie once a month. She's worth seeing a movie every weekend, which is why we watch movies at home. We can do it anytime we want without hiring that babysitter, going through all those other steps, having to do research, and figuring out what time the movie starts. So we have to accommodate our lives for that movie start time. When you watch a movie at home, it starts whenever you want. And as for chairs, you want to tell me that your $900 mansion lazy boy that you live in is less comfortable than that sticky theater seat? No way. Those theater seats, while they're more comfortable than what they used to be, they're roughly as comfortable as a plush bus. Like, that's where you're at right now. If you're riding a Greyhound bus across the country, that's roughly what you get in a movie theater. You might be thrown off because there's stadium seating, so it confuses your brain a little bit, but that's what it is. It's nothing special. It certainly doesn't recline like you want it to. And also the snacks, man. You want to you get more snacks in a movie theater, you got to take out a second mortgage. You want snacks at home, you just pop another bag of popcorn in the microwave and you're good to go. I can get up and I can drink 6 beers during a movie if I want. If you want to go, my friend goes to movies all the time and he's like, oh boy, I can get a beer at this theater. So what? I have all the beer in my fridge. I can walk over and get it anytime I want. It doesn't cost $9 a bottle. Like, I'm trying to get the most bang for my buck, see the most movies I can. If you're a real movie lover, you'll watch them at home. And as for surround sound, a surround sound system's like $150 now, depending on the one you get. You can have surround sound wherever you go.
Exact thing.
It's just scaling. Okay, you're like one of those people who's like, I need a 16-foot TV in my living room, and it's too big. Like, proportionately, if you look at how big that theater screen is based on how far back you sit, in terms of the amount of eye space it takes up, it's really not that much different than having a 50 or 60-inch TV and sitting closer to it. Sitting 10 feet away from a 50-inch TV is not that different than sitting 80 feet away from a wall-size TV. Yeah, I went there. I just dropped some math on you.
You know, just because you say it, don't make it true.
It does make it true.
All right. You know, the whole Greyhound bus analogy makes me remember you haven't been to a movie since 1983. So I'll give you a pass on that one. At some point, you're going to realize that there is fresh air on the other side of your doors and your windows, and maybe then you will become a real three-dimensional human being. In the meantime, hey, roll those Dungeons and Dragons dice.
I will, thank you very much. It's another fine activity you can do from home. If you want to vote for watching movies at home like a great person, vote for 1, just the number 1.
Oh my
Because it's number 1 in your viewing opportunities. If you want to not do that, vote for 23 and the garbage experience of going to a theater. Consequently, $23 is about how much it costs for a small soda at the movie theater, so keep that in mind.
Again, just
if
throwing these facts out there like all the news channels.
And if you
do.
want to throw your vote away, vote for 18.
All right. Well, I don't know how I can argue with the number 1. That seems like a pretty cool thing to vote for, unless you're totally cool and you're Michael Jordan or LeBron James. Then you're going to vote 23. Who are you going to vote for? The elite athlete who is at the top of his game, or a guy that has to stack the deck by making his number 1? It's pathetic to me. It's sad, really. So until next week, when we can hear how James is going to make sure that he wins despite Steve being better, tune in to Wrong.
Oh, wait. So I'm going to stop the outro. I'm going to discombobulate you one more time. I won the debate last week. We glossed right over that. I won by I won by like 50% of the vote. It was crushing, and it's going to happen again next week. Thank you to our wonderful interns for once again extending my lead in the I'm up like 2 shows now. It's incredible. Okay, go ahead and close this out. I just wanted the world to know that I'm better than you, and I will be better than you again this week.
Well, and I'm making a note to fire the intern. All right. So until next week, and if you want to be our intern, you can apply to Steve next week. And I'm sure you can find my email. I'm all over the internet. I'm the one that looks like George Clooney. All right. This is Steve. This is Dr. Steve for James the Exploding Unicorn Smells Just Like the Stable They Live in, Breakwell, saying thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and remember, as always, 2 wrongs can make a right.